Can you guys hear me now? All right, check. Can you guys hear me? I think I fixed the audio. Okay. All right. So it looks like they're still doing quizzes. So here we are, guys. Welcome. Sorry about the initial audio issues. OBS updated and changed some of my settings. Fun times. So, but I'm glad we got it all worked out. Really excited to watch the stream tonight. Some of you may have already know that somebody leaked some images. I won't spoil it for anyone, but I'm sure we'll see those images very soon. I'm very excited about those. Um, Chaplain Grimaldus with a super chat. Thank you so much for your support. Salutations and well met, brethren. Still gawking at the leaked Terminator pics. Yeah, so there we go. Any ideas how hard it will be to kit bash? Well, I guess that remains to be seen, right? So let's starting soon. We're 1 minute away from their preview here. Um, so so yeah, let's get that on the screen for us. And it is 10 o'clock. I'm going to give this a refresh here just to make sure. And of course, there's an ad. So we're going to go back to the single shot while we wait for that ad. But last time I missed a few minutes because, you know, I wasn't paying attention and I thought it would just, pop up on its own and it needed a refresh. So yeah, yeah, Stifler's mom. It was an ad that popped up as soon as I refreshed it. So we will get back to that momentarily. Yes, I do believe Dark Angels will get a lot of love tonight. So, um, this weekend, just 2 short days from now, we're going to do another live stream. I need to put up the broadcast for you guys, but it'll be our usual caffeine and crusade. Um, and we're going to be talking about the 40K weekend. Oh, here we go. Let's get that audio going.
It's an absolute pleasure to be here, Paul. We have some very, very cool Warhammer stuff to show you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I know that if you're in the UK watching this now or in Europe, it is very late, well past your bedtime, but it is a Friday night. So thank you for joining us to see some very cool Warhammer. And if you're here in the United States or anywhere in the world, then you are very welcome as well.
Look, if you love Warhammer, you come to the right place. We have some amazing things to show you from a ton of game systems, basically everything.
Well, not quite everything, but yeah, we've got, I think, 7 game systems worth of stuff to show you today. Obviously, Warhammer 40,000 and Warhammer Age of Sigmar, but we've also got some Horus Heresy, some Old World, some Underworld, some Necromunda, and there's another one as well that escapes me at the moment. But yeah, Kill Team, of course, as well.
Yeah, like I mentioned, we're here at the World Championships, where some folks that attended this event for the
They're here in Atlanta.
from all over the world
In Atlanta, my hometown.
We're going to show it to y'all now.
Yeah, we've
or at least
just
where I
run
live.
a preview for the people who are in attendance. This is the World Championship, so we've got 400 of the best Warhammer players in the world who've all won GT events around the world, who've come together to kind of find the ultimate Warhammer champion and compete for their country as well. We've also got the Warhammer 40,000 Grand Narrative, which is a huge immersive narrative event. I think there's a good few hundred players in attendance for that, so we had a packed room full of excited Warhammer fans, and they all kind of enjoyed the stuff we got to show them. And now we get to share it with the rest of you as well, which is really cool and very exciting.
Hundreds of Warhammer players doing it live. We're going to be doing it live all weekend, so come back and see us. But let's actually jump right into this.
Yeah, well, before we do, there's a few things we always do
I'm
first.
excited!
I know you're excited, Paul. I know you're excited, but we have to ask people
few
where they're tuning in
things.
from. That's like the best bit, right? They've got to. People love kind of posting pictures of the flags, so let us know where you're tuning in from, guys. Let us know if you're doing any Warhammer in the chat. Just nice to get people kind of hyped.
Yeah, that's Chaplain
And-
Grimaldus. That's
and
the
if you've got
golden
anything
ticket, as it
interesting
were.
you
You had
wanna
to be
see,
invited to
please
play
let
in the
us know.
championship
I'm really
event.
looking forward to seeing which game system you're excited for.
And how well
But
did you cheer?
I'm excited because
And
it's
how
here in
well you did?
Atlanta,
Got them
which
all
is
right,
pretty cool.
obviously.
Getting
So
some
you
love
did
for
like
my
some of the
town.
quiz, so I had a slight advantage
I
in it.
thought about
So
attending the
far,
narrative
it's
event,
great
but
for the
honestly, the
people
ticket
live on the
price
show. That
was
was awesome.
absurd, and I was like, you know,
Okay, so
Don't think
obviously we
so,
don't wanna
so-
be waiting around too long. We do want to get stuck in stuff, but I've seen
It's great to
so
see
many people like flying past.
Yeah, and thanks for hanging out with us. I know it's late for some, early for some. It's a big world out there. Let us know if you're enjoying your coffee, morning coffee, watching us here.
Absolutely, yeah. It's going so fast I can barely see it. I've seen New York, the UK, Rhode Island, Canada. I think I saw France fly by there. Fenris.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in for Fenris. It's
Fenris.
really hard to get good Wi-Fi in Fenris as well, so good job on doing that. Got to be like within a few.
Go
100 meters of the
Falcons.
fang, I think.
I'm actually a
Well,
Giants
you
fan.
gotta keep a good
There's
signal.
no other
You gotta
signal.
tune in.
No
My
other signal anyway.
team is
Yeah,
terrible, so
absolutely.
and the
Yeah.
Falcons aren't much better either.
Cool. All right, well,
So,
I think we probably should jump into.
yes, let's jump in.
40,000,
Show me some Warhammer
Let's do
stuff.
it.
Let's do it. Necrons. Show me some Necrons. Yes. I was hoping we'd get a new Orican model. I love him. He's awesome. I love it. Yes, I know this is a Black Templar stream, but I also play Necrons, and
If you've been
I'm
watching
really,
the events, you've seen Orkin in just about every Necron
really
event
excited.
right now, and now players are soon going to get the opportunity to put a new model into that unit.
Yeah, this is a new multi-part plastic Oracan the Diviner.
Thank
It's
goodness.
A very cool new miniature on its way very soon. This is another step on the way to having fully plastic Necron army, which is absolutely where you want it to be. This is a very dynamic miniature. It's the arch kind of chronomancer of the Necrons. He is able to predict.
He's awesome.
The passage of time
They
in the
definitely
future
captured his
using, all sorts of arcane
you know,
science, not any warp shenanigans, nothing so crass as that.
the way
The
he
Necron's just a complete
feels
mastery
and the
of
lore and
physical
everything,
realm. We know
in his
from
original
some of the
mini,
games we've been
in a
seeing,
new
the
version. I love it.
very popular currently in Necron armies.
You haven't even built your Necrons from the last box.
Units, and also there's no
Come
standard
on.
but
Gotta
also
get
a
on it.
very interesting character in the lore as well. If you've read any of the Black
I'm
Library
glad
books,
he's getting a new
Infinite
model.
and the
He
Divine,
deserves
it's
it.
a
He's a
fine
really
read,
cool
and he's one of the
character.
stars of that particular book.
He's
I
really
love
good on the
the
table.
personality that's
So,
come out with the Necrons over the last 6 to 7
joke's on
years.
him, master of
It's
wasting
very
time.
captivating. Love it, and this model is brilliant.
Yeah, very cool as well. It's got kind of a little bit of canopticness about it as well, with that kind of cloak down the back and that kind of weird wavy spine. The chronomancers and the kind of technomancers of the Necrons do tend to
It's a
enhance themselves
Dilophosaurus.
very-
He's a little
bit,
little
there's
small
a
for a
bit of kind of
Dilophosaurus,
arcane
but
mad scientist about this guy as well.
And you're not
Certainly.
kidding about the popular choice, and so getting this sweet new figure coming out, that's going to be
Yeah,
amazing.
I don't think I've seen a Necron army in the last few months that hasn't had this guy in it. So obviously he'll be on his way
Dilophosaurus.
with alongside the new codex, which we've already announced, alongside some other new Necron miniatures.
But
which
that's
are
how he
available.
looks.
So there's,
He's
lots of
sort
new
of
Necron characters coming,
Dilophosaurus-esque.
and the brand new codex, which is
Anyway, I like him.
loads of cool new
Can't
ways
wait to
use
buy
the
him.
Necron army, so it's a good time to be part of the undying metallic legions right now.
Can't wait.
Speaking of which, we have a little bit more on the way for the Necrons, particularly for fans of narrative play in Warhammer 40,000. Let's have a look at the next video.
Ooh, a Crusade book. The Zone of Silence. What is this, Dungeons and Dragons? So a Crusade book, that's interesting.
Look at that, launching your own campaign. Love the story-driven stuff. Speaking of things like the narrative happening here as well. But look at this already amazing new stuff to add into your game system.
Yeah, so this is the next narrative expansion for Warhammer 40,000. This is the Pariah Nexus. Obviously, we're just coming out of a great Warhammer Plus show, which featured the Pariah Nexus, and this is a campaign system set within that space. So we know that the Necrons are up to all sorts of weird arcane science shenanigans.
Yeah,
To kind of
Big Ron,
explore
I've been
the
wanting to
soul
read
and
the
Syllian,
Infinite and the
the unique
Divine, and
exploitable
I haven't
resources
had a
that you can
chance to,
kind of
but
harvest. In the same
yeah.
time, the Adeptus Mechanicus very interested in some of the tech and things that the Necrons have been unearthing. So you've got this kind of arms race of two metallic armies into each other, the ancient Necrons and the kind of arcane science of the Adeptus Mechanicus in a sort of super weapon arms race into the Pariah Nexus, tying into all of the stories that we know have been happening right back to the start of almost 9th edition of Warhammer 40,000 and into that kind of recent animation. So if you enjoyed the kind of mega narrative of the Necrons, or you enjoyed the story of Pariah Nexus on Warhammer Plus, this is absolutely a way to kind of capture that essence in your games of Warhammer 40,000.
Were you awakening any old rivalries through this story?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Right, so that's on its way. So really exciting news for
show us more miniatures.
play for Warhammer 40,000. We've obviously been talking an awful lot this tournament and about match play, but there's whole amazing other ways of playing Warhammer 40,000. Narrative, of course, Crusade, a huge success in the last few years, and this is the next big, not just way to play, but also moving the story on of that particular part of the galaxy, which has had a pretty exciting last few years, the Pariah Nexus.
Love the painting. Adeptus Mechanicus is one of those like super Warhammer things. Like you get to awaken all the art comes alive on those models.
Yeah,
well.
and this is a Crusade expansion as well, so it kind of works for all Imperial armies and all armies really. So like anybody can take part and use some of the rules from that. But it's particularly cool if you've got either an Imperial force or a Necron force, and you want to kind of explore that bit of the galaxy. There are so many
I have
cool
both.
places around the Warhammer 40,000 universe, and those Crusade.
All right,
books
stop
are
talking about
basically
Crusade.
between
Show me the
continuing
miniatures.
the narrative and the story
Want
in
to
that
see the
location,
miniatures? Give it
and
to
the
me
next big
now.
one is gonna be
Show me the Space Marines.
That's awesome. We're just getting started.
Yeah. Right, let's have a look at another new miniature that's on its way for Warhammer 40,000.
That looks like a chaplain. A Dark Angel chaplain. The test of faith. Does he have a sword and a Crozius? Wow, that's dope. I'm not even a Dark Angel player, and that's badass. Chaplain Grimalda says, interesting, I thought narratively we moved on from the Pariah Nexus. We're fighting Nids now.
That guy have?
It certainly comes
I
very
mean,
well armed.
theoretically,
This is, Asmodee,
could always
the
be
original interrogator chaplain of
could always
the
be
Dark Angels,
fighting
one of the most recognizable characters
could
in
always
Warhammer
be
40,000,
fighting
and getting
you
a
know,
brand new plastic
in multiple
miniature. This
fronts.
is the Master of Repentance.
Oh, it's
one of the
Asmodee.
most recognizable chaplains in Warhammer 40,000. I don't know about you, but chaplains for me kind of
He's pretty sick.
encapsulate some
Not
of the
gonna lie.
absolute gothic horror of Warhammer 40,000, and particularly of the Dark Angels, the kind of brooding, imposing figure of Asmodee.
They can awaken the spirit of the Marines around them, and this is captured all magnificently on
The
this
smoke
model.
is
The
really cool.
robes, the cloaks, the skulls, the implements of destruction, and revealing secrets.
Yeah, I mean, there's some really cool things to call out on
Honestly,
this
I think the
because,
smoke
we've
is the
got some nice
coolest
angles
part
of
about
it
him.
in
That
front
and the
and
fact
back
that he
of
has a
there.
sword and
So you've got
a
full
Crozius.
head option if you want, which is the kind of classic Asmodee that you guys will recognize from the current miniature, but also the classic miniature and some of the classic artwork we've seen. But we've never seen what's
Interesting.
underneath that hood before, and now we can find out. It turns out it's a skull helmet. Who'd have known, right? So
Who'd have
it's
thought?
a
A
chaplain.
skull helmet on a
You've got some
chaplain.
very, very
What a
imposing
surprise.
weaponry there, an enormous great Calibanite greatsword. Crozius Arcanum, of course, with the kind of winged angel. On his back, he's got his pistol. He's also got some implements of torture in case he manages to get hold of a fallen.
Yeah, the more I look
warrior
at it,
of
I
one of
think
the
the
armies
pose
who
could
know
be a
their
little
location.
better.
You've got a
But
back on him there. You can either have kind of
the
drifting
the
smoke
model overall
and
is
essence,
dope.
or
The
if you
smoke
can paint it up really nicely,
is
or
really
if,
cool.
you maybe don't really fancy painting lots of smoke effects because it's it's not your jam. You can absolutely just have a plain backpack and not have that.
Who wouldn't have the smoke?
Especially if you like you're into kit bashing
What is
and
wrong
the
with
right
you?
forces
Yeah,
and
I
that
mean,
kind of stuff.
the other.
But yeah,
whichever
he
one
would
you
make
pick, the
a
other one is
he would
the
make a
available feature
great
to use. This is the kind of classic one which
conversion
is,
for
the other thing to call out there if you're a Fallen Angels fan like me.
either like
Fight the
a
Fallen
Black
Angels
Templar's
race.
chaplain
So
or
just pretty
even
cool.
like a
There,
Sword
there's one for
Brethren
you.
or
There's one.
something.
Here you
It's
go.
pretty dope.
There's,
I like him.
it's in some kind
Lots
of
of conversion
multicolored
potential
shade
there.
green armor there to me, with I think a sword through his head. So he's maybe not having the best day, but still nice to see them represented.
This just screams Dark Angels. This is the
It's
art
so-
jumping off
Oh,
the,
it's
the
so
page.
goth. I love the
Grim would just
ludicrously
yell him to
oversized
death.
sword.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous. Like Space Marines have very
Grimaldus's model
overly
is
cut
pretty
weaponry, but even by
awesome.
Space Marine standards, that sword
I
is just
converted mine
It's too big for me, yeah.
so that
yeah,
he's not
it's over the, there's no
doing the
scale
same
to it
exact
in armor.
pose as
But
the Emperor's
speaking of
champion.
enormous great
So he's
weapons,
more like
we have
striding
another unit to show
forward
you
like a
today for the
badass.
Dark Angels,
So
which is the
yes, the Deathwing Knights.
Knights.
So we
This
knew
is
this
the
was
elite
coming.
Terminator unit, the specialized elite of the elite of the
So
Dark
how
Angel
quick can we
division.
get him
Got
converted?
to see
I don't know.
this.
That sounds like a
They're
challenge.
amazing. Look at that. Just brutish, just intimidating.
Someone,
Across the battlefield.
I'm willing to
Who does
convert
not
him.
love the impending
You guys
Dark
tell
Angel
me what you want me to
weapons?
convert him into.
Terminators are innately
We'll
cool,
do it.
right? This has been a great year for Terminator fans. We've
Maybe
had
I'll
a
stream it,
brand new
or if nothing else,
Unit of
record it.
Leviathan box
How
set
about
at
that?
the launch of the new edition of Warhammer 40,000. We've then had the multi-part kit, adding some options. You've had new Terminator chaplains, new Terminator librarians, new Terminator captains, and now we're starting to see some of the specialized Terminators of the chapters come forth. And the first amongst them is, of course, the Terminator Masters of Warhammer 40,000, the Deathwing, which are perhaps even amongst the Space Marines, the most renowned Terminators in the galaxy.
We've got some comments in the chat said it's not a want, it's a mighty need that's happening.
Yeah.
And there's also some questions we might be able to answer here in a second.
Yeah, regular assault
there's
Terminators,
some
please.
options in this kit which is worth calling out. So Deathwing Knights at the moment obviously have their maces. There is a build in this kit with enormous, great Calibanite swords, and for me as well, like obviously.
Man,
Dark
swords are
Angels
so cool.
synonymous with swords. The actual symbol of the chapter itself is that broken sword.
I wish we could
representing,
field sword and
all
shield
sorts of stuff in
Terminators.
the kind of mythology of the
It's
Dark
really
Angels.
cool.
Even the symbol of the Dark Angels and the Deathwing themselves hint at the secrets within the chapter, the broken sword.
The
Literally the
secrets.
broken sword of the lion, but also the breaking of the legion and the kind of fight against treachery sort of thing on the shields themselves. So swords and Calibanite swords particularly hark back to the very origins of the legion and the kind of the Knights of Caliban sort of thing.
It's hard to have read that story way back in the day and not become a fan of
They
this.
just super like swords, I guess is what I'm getting at. They really like swords. But they
They
also
like swords.
enormous great maces, and you can also build this unit as a mace.
Look at that cute little Watcher in the dark.
Much like the current,
Looks like a $70 box to me. Yeah, probably, honestly. I mean, regular Termies are 65.
You can still use them. They've still got the same weapon.
So
but you probably want to upgrade them.
I'm assuming 70 to 75 is probably going to be their price point. They're really sick.
Calling me.
So
It depending on
you absolutely have enough stuff in this kit to build them all with swords. You have enough in this kit to build them all with maces if you want to.
Yeah,
You also
so
have enough in this kit to build them all with helmeted heads, or you can build them all with hooded heads. So you've got loads of different options, and you can either
looking at them,
fall into
there's
one of those and go, well, I'm gonna
depending
go
on which
hooded, or you can go,
torso
I
you
want
choose.
some
Like
of them with helmets and some of them with hoods. Well, you can buy
there's
two units and
definitely
mix it up.
some
You can
opportunity
get a few of
to
these
kit
and build
bash
them
these into
which is
Templars.
cool because one of the kind
The
of
open
archetypes
chest
of
ones where
building
like
a
the
Dark
robe
Angel
is like
is to
here
really lean into
is
one
going to
of the
be
themes of the war,
tough
basically. So I go
to
all
do,
bikes or all
but
Terminators or
perhaps
Tacticus,
we
and if you
could
go all
potentially
Terminators, which is
combine them with the
very cool way of
Tacticus
doing that as well.
box,
You definitely
or
want more than one unit
perhaps
there.
unannounced
And
Assault
the
Terminator
original
box.
Terminators are back.
Terminators
So
are absolutely back this edition. Like certainly there's a little bit.
there's some conversion
last edition
opportunities,
Warhammer
but
40,000 where maybe,
I think it would, to
shiny
make it
things
look
weren't
really
there.
like
Lots of
Black
other
Templars
things
would
that have been
definitely
cool
be
that have come out recently,
a bit of a
but
challenge. You'd have to
Terminators kind of very
combine
much
some
thrown back
kits
into
or buy
both
bits on the
the
third-party
mythical
sites,
life, some of
which
the
can get
incredible myths
pretty
in chapter 2,
expensive.
but also into the kind of the meta play of
Yeah, the
Warhammer
half helm
40,000
look,
definitely is
Grimaldus.
in armies.
I just want to
I don't know. I've never been a fan of
He's a
that
cool question.
personally,
Look at him. I think what
but
Harrow, you called out earlier on. He
at
looks
least
like
it's
he's
an
maybe
option.
just a little
It's
bit
pretty
big
cool.
for him, maybe. Yeah, it looks a little bit big, like he's got Dad's hoodie on, sort of thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but very cool, very cool miniature on the way. That comes in the set and kind of gives you some bonuses and stuff as well, which is really cool. Right, so that's Warhammer 40,000. We might have a little bit more stuff that you can use in 40k later on, but let's have a look at the roadmap for codexes. So we know Adeptus Mechanicus and Necrons are on their way really soon, like really soon. So if you're fans of those armies, then you're in for a good few weeks. Then we know that we've got Dark Angels on the way, no surprise there. A Codex supplement.
Orcs, yeah, so now Gene Stealers and Sisters in summer of next year.
All coming in spring 24. It's an absolutely bumper crop.
And
Link
here's the
joining
crossroads
late.
between
Anything we
Dreadnought
care
and
about
It
shown
always
before
comes.
this?
It's never too late.
Yeah.
But we
So,
can announce
well, if
today
you're a
that
Necron
these
player,
next two
there's some
codexes
pretty cool
following
Necron
those
stuff.
releases in summer 2024 will be
Deathwing
Doomsday
Knights
Cult, woo,
and
Adeptus Sororitas, two
the
very cool and
Asmodai.
interesting armies. And
I think there's
if you want to
conversion
know what's
potential
going
for
now,
both of them.
that spread of codex is absolutely
So,
monstrous in terms of there's a little
so
bit of
yeah,
chaos in there. There's lots of
we
Xenos
care about
elements
it
and
in the sense
Imperial.
that Dark Angel stuff is
Really
always usually
nice
good for
mix of
conversion
factions
fodder for us.
coming into
That means
Warhammer.
they're
So
coming to this game
I'm
soon.
looking forward to
Too
seeing what
bad.
we can do
You
with
missed out
those.
at a lot of
The
different
Carskin
opportunities.
Revenant says,
All of that
"Who's the little
is
servant?"
coming
That is
into Warhammer
known as a
Fantasy
Watcher in
with
the
an
Dark.
absolute smorgasbord
They're
of
like these
features
little
all around the map.
servant things that
Who knows?
follow
Who
around the
knows?
leaders of
Super
the
secret.
Death
So
Watch.
I
They're
can't wait. But that's awesome.
I forget
It's
the
really
exact lore
exciting
behind them,
to
but
see all the breadth of life
they
codexes
they tend to
getting into what's happening.
usually have
Plus a lot
anti-psyker
of the
rules
indexes, getting
associated
lots of
with
coins
them.
and
I'm not sure the
And
whole lore behind them, but they're
think I'm
basically
right
like
in
little
saying that
servers,
I think most of those come with at
servants that
least some
follow
new
them
models, and
around.
some of those codexes come with a lot of new models. So there's some cool stuff going on.
Is that a new faction there? Redacted?
I know
No,
you are.
I
You are.
seriously
You do
doubt
live
it.
in a permanent
They
state of
just
hiding.
don't want to
Pretty much.
tell
Well,
us.
with Warhammer, I'm
This would
sure.
be my guess.
All right, so that's Warhammer 40,000. We do have a little bit more for 40k later on in this preview, but let's jump to another
Later
system where we've
on,
got some other cool
we
new
gotta
models
wait
on
till
the map
later on for
with some
40k.
of our other games.
I don't know if I can wait till later on, guys. Age of Sigmar. Yeah, I don't think I need to see Age of Sigmar. So, let's kill the audio on this. And we're going to go back to this here. And let's talk about 40k. So, yeah. So, honestly, not as much of a preview as I thought we were going to get. I thought we were going to get um, regular Assault Terminators, to be perfectly honest, along with the Deathwing Knights. That may still come down the road as we get closer to the Dark Angels Codex, which you know how we GW likes to string us along with stuff, so we may still get something like that. Chapel Grimalda says, personally, I thought they would show the old world first. Well, the old world is kind of like a also ran game. Like, I know it's fairly popular, but it's not one of their two primary game systems. That's definitely Age of Sigmar and 40k, obviously. The old world is basically the Horus Heresy the for fantasy, right? Um, so yeah. Um, Senohei Production says, "Good to know our firstborn Crusaders will be around until at least part of the summer. So now I feel like getting them." Don't spend too much, to be honest. I mean, yeah, they'll last till the summer. Honestly, I feel like they are gonna get nerfed in January. 65 points is absurdly cheap for them. There is no reason why Firstborn Crusaders should be 130 points when a tactical for 10 when a tactical squad is 160. So I fully expect them to go to 80 or 85 points. I think they're going to go to 80 points in January when we get a balance update, which is fine. They'll still be good at 80 points. They just won't be stupid like they are now. Um, so yeah, format says seems mad that Pariah Nexus Ninth's big early event is only just getting expanded after the Necron lore just stopped after Indomitus. Yeah, who knows? Who knows what they're thinking? Their books and stuff are always seem to be behind the eight ball on stuff, especially lately. Austin says devs in Razorbacks. Devs and Razorbacks are a pretty solid choice, actually. Funny you say that. I have a list that I just finished. That's the Vanguard detachment, and I popped grab devs in a Razorback because they have. I think that the reason why I put them in that list instead of a regular, Righteous Crusaders list or whatnot, is because and Bob and I agree on this. One of the biggest problems that Grav devs have right now is the lack of AP. AP -1 can just bounce off vehicles, right? The anti-vehicle 2 plus, great. Damage 3, great. But a Land Raider is saving you on 3s. Most other vehicles are saving you on 4s. And we don't have any way to boost ranged AP. But Vanguard does. And get +1 ballistic skill in the process. So you get +1 ballistic skill and +1 AP. AP2 is much better. Now a 3+ save thing vehicle saving on 5s instead of 4s. That's a significant decrease in their survivability. So anyway, it says Benjamin says just kind of hilarious to see Grab Debs pop out and blast a Titanic vehicle because yeah, you know they're fun for that for sure. Link says I play Orcs, Necrons, Mechanicus too. With that schedule, rip my bank account. Yep, just pick out a coffin right now, Link. Alex, what have you missed? You've missed it all. No, so far we've seen Asmodai, we've seen Deathwing Knights, and the new Orkin model for Necrons. That's all they gave us for 40K. Besides a Crusade book, which you know is nice, but honestly, I don't get enough games in to worry about Crusade. I would love to have like a steady Crusade campaign going on. It would be awesome. I don't have the time for that. So when I play, I want to play as competitively as possible because I want to test myself and I want to get better at 40K. So format says not tried Grav Devs and Vanguard yet, but it's on the list. Don't know about Razors at their current price. Yeah, I mean, put a Twin Link Las on it, and it's a solid transport. So something I want to kind of rewind right before the stream started, I was talking about Sunday. So, guys, on Sunday, we are going to be doing our regular Caffeine and Crusade. And we're going to be talking about a number of things. Uh, Mostly, we're going to talk about the Warhammer Championships this weekend and kind of what Black Templars have been doing. We've had a lot of success so far. We'll see if that holds. Um, we're going to talk about last weekend. I want to apologize to you guys because I had initially intended to do a lot of content, stream some stuff, and yeah, it just didn't happen. Honestly, this time, every about once or twice a year, me and my friends go up to the North Georgia mountains where we play 40K all weekend, and it's always a great time. I went 4-0, which was awesome. But the trouble is especially this time, for whatever reason, it was just exhausting, and like I just didn't have the energy to constantly make content as well as try to get in 4 games. So I apologize that I didn't make enough content that weekend. Um, and so we're going to talk about my experience that weekend and what list I ran and the things that I found worked and the things that I didn't find worked, that kind of stuff. Um, so yeah. Um, Austin, we do need a new painting competition. I think we usually do 2 a year, and we're kind of in that time zone. I know Bob has been super busy with work. That's why he's not here tonight. Um, so I'll get with Bob, and we will figure out what we're gonna do as far as a painting competition, because we usually do them twice a year, big ones, and uh, we haven't started the second one yet. So, um, so yeah. So, what do you guys think? Conversion potential for those Dark Angel things? Um, I think there's definitely is for the Terminators. Want to see how the Terminators go together. Based on building the tactical Terminators, they I think it would be easy enough to separate the top half of the torso and use the bottom part with the tabard. That all looks pretty clean, should be easy to Black Templarize that. My biggest concern is especially the open chest piece robes, where they have like the robe that's like open and the like a bathrobe kind of thing with the Dark Angel chest eagle. Those are very distinctively Dark Angels. So you'd either want regular Terminators, or you'd want to shave that down and green stuff over it to make it a full tabard, which is certainly doable. It's just a matter of what's going to be the best solution for easiness, right? Not everybody's a great green stuff sculptor. I'm okay at it. I probably could be better if I practiced more. Um, for those of you wanting to, a little plug here, for those of you wanting, oops, excuse me. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know, I got something stuck in my throat. Um, so, for those of you wanting to learn more about sculpting with green stuff, I highly, highly recommend Last Light Creative. He's got a YouTube channel. It's got some limited content on it because most of his stuff is Patreon. But his Patreon's only $5 a month. Um, super awesome guy. Tons of awesome tutorials. If you want to learn how to green stuff, sculpt, and do a ton of different things with sculpting, uh, definitely check him out and sub his Patreon. It's worth it. So, Benjamin says a real pain in the you know what for the top, but I would wait for assault guys before I make plans. Sound advice. I too will probably be waiting until I see assault terminators, and then I'll spend a bunch of money on making 5 guys that could be 10. So yeah. Um, Austin says green stuff top tabard is fairly easy if you prep correctly. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it just takes practice. Something I've not been doing with green stuff. So so um so yeah. As far as uh tonight's reveal, unless there's something at the end of this stream that they're going to show us, which right now they're showing Horus Heresy stuff, which don't care. Um, they mentioned there might be something for 40K. I'm not expecting something big, to be honest with you, just based on they usually the last time they showed all the stuff, all the 40K stuff up front. So, a bit of a lackluster reveal, especially since somebody leaked the Terminators early. I thought that was rather amusing. You have those scouts to practice on. Yeah, although the scouts are, remember, if you look at uh the regular neophytes, they have the same sort of like Under Armour tabard where like the tabard goes tucked up under their chest plate kind of thing. Speaking of scouts, I am really looking forward to that box because I want some new neophytes that don't have the same 2 poses as our box kit. I love our neophytes, but I want some new poses. So yeah. Um, so yeah. So for Sunday, expect we're gonna talk about my weekend. We're gonna talk about the tournament this weekend. Probably a bit about the meta in 40K in general. Where Templars are, we're trending really high right now. To be honest, we're at like a 60, almost 60% win rate, which honestly is a little scary because I don't want to be in nerf territory, right? I like my 140 point Primaris sword bros and crusaders and whatnot. So yeah. It's we'll have to see what happens at the end of this weekend where we sit, percentage wise. Fortunately, the next balance data slate I think is coming January. I think that's when we next get our next one. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's January. So yeah. Um, another thing is those are not what's really winning big. The Sword Bros, actually, I mean like almost every list that was doing well Black Templars wise has Sword Bros and Impulsors. So I would not be surprised if they went up in points. Yeah, BT seem to be winning via Iron Hands tank builds more often. True. That being said, but those lists are also including Sword Bros. So I don't know. We'll have to see where it shakes out, and when we get to January, for a points increase. So hopefully we don't see too much too much change with us. I think we're honestly in a good spot right now. Um, I think we have a huge variety of lists to choose from, which is fantastic. And I'm hoping that GW addresses issues with the detachments because it's not Righteous Crusaders that's like over the win rate detachment. Where Righteous Crusaders is at like 55%, so we're right there at the top of the Goldilocks. It's the Iron Storm and the Firestorm detachments and Gladius that are above that. So yeah, the Dwarfs demand a rematch. Consider myself judged. Yeah, bring it. Let's go. Let's go, Dan. Benjamin says you're building a storm speeder just now. Um, those are actually very good. If you take the Thunderstrike, I think is the one. I'm pretty sure that's the one. Let me double check that that's the one I'm thinking of. Thunderstrike. Data sheet. Yeah. So, the reason you like you want to like the Thunderstrike is because each time this model has shot, select one enemy monster or vehicle unit hit by one or more of those attacks. Until the end of the phase, each time a friendly Adeptus Astartes unit makes a ranged attack that targets that enemy unit, add one to the wound roll. That's a really big buff with the loss of Oath rerolls. So yeah, and it's three of its shots hit on twos. So, it's one of those things that it's a good fast moving unit. It has some decent those three shots are decently, have decent damage. They're both AP3. One's only strength 9. Um, but it is D6 plus 1 damage, so if it goes through, it goes through. Um, so yeah. I think the Thunderstrike is a pretty good solid choice. Um, the Hammer Strike is okay. I think if I'm going to run one, it's going to be the Thunderstrike, though, because that +1 to wound is really critical, especially in lists that aren't running Lancers. So, yeah, +1 to wound. I'm not building it for my health. So, um, so yeah. Let's see what else we got rolling in the chat here. Format says impulsors with multi-meltas are going to get the point stick hard, which is a shame if we can't take standard ones. I don't think so, to be honest. Because the multi-melta, like, honestly, in my 4 games, I had 2 impulsors and I had 2 lancers. And the multi-meltas were very, very hit or miss. If it went through, it was great. I did good damage with it. If it didn't go through, it was usually because I missed the wound roll or missed the hit roll. So honestly, I think the multi-melta is not an issue for that. I'll tell you what I am a fan of. Spoiler alert for Sunday, I guess. Um, Bob convinced me that the Bella Catus, however you say it, the missile. I ran the missile in all my games on both impulsors. I really like it. It was very useful having three profiles to choose from, including like the anti-fly stuff. Like even though the damage is only two on the anti-fly, like popping that into units that have fly. So like Necron Technomancer with the Canoptek cloak has fly, and he was with a big old blob of Lich Guard. Guess what? Because he has fly, he shares that keyword with the rest of the unit. Now they don't get fly; the rest of the unit can't use the ability, but they are a fly unit. So have a 2+ to wound, uh, 2 damage shot. It was decent. I liked it. So yeah. Austin says my local shop just got some gladiators in, and I'm debating if my kids really need toys for Christmas. Get them 40K. That's all the toys they need. It's funny you say that. My local shop just got toys for toys. Well, yeah, toys. Gladiators in, and they're like, "Hey, we got 4 gladiators in stock," and I'm just like, "Get me one, please." So I bought another gladiator to go along with the one that I already have. So so yeah. Um, Link says Kill Team. Oh yeah, on the stream they're showing Kill Team guys. It's Night Lords, Heretics. Nobody cares. We're talking about Black Templars over here. Um, so yeah, Benjamin says it's what comes out of the impulsors that's the issue. Yeah, uh, something that I think is interesting. I see a lot in the discussion in the Discord. Now, I don't know what you guys are running, but in the Discord, there's a lot of people running um, Land Raiders with either two by five squads or a full 10-man squad. Now, don't get me wrong, I love the full 10-man squad of Sword Bros, but it's definitely overkill. And I've discovered recently that Hellbricht or the Emperor's Champion plus 5 Sword Bros kills just about anything they touch. So they really don't need the extra guys, to be honest. So yeah. So it is 10:40 here. They are still talking about Heretic Kill Team stuff. Um, there's no kill like overkill. That is true. That is true. So, um, I think I don't know. Should we stick around to see if there's any more 40K? They talked about mentioning it a bit. What do you guys think? Also, if you guys haven't checked it out yet, Baron of Dice, one of our partners, has been running specials all month long. I think they have free shipping. They also have other deals and stuff going on leading up into Black Friday. So check out baronofdice.com. Make sure you use discount code IN40K to save a little bit of money, and also support us at the same time. Um, so yeah, and then also I am a quarter of the way through 100 days of hobby. If you guys have been following along with the short series that I've been doing, it's been a lot of fun so far. So check out those. They're shorts, so they're 60 seconds or less. You can blow through all 25 days in 25 minutes. So please check those out. I would love, I really appreciate all the words of encouragement that you guys have given me thus far as well. So thank you for your support in that. I've really definitely gotten the motivation back. Which reminds me, I gotta record my video tonight. So after this stream, be on the lookout for what I've been achieving tonight. So So yeah, Seno Hey Production says Judiciar or EC doesn't matter. Actually, I think it does. I think the EC is quite a bit significantly better than the Judiciar. He's good. Don't get me wrong. He's a decent beat stick, but um, the uh, the thing is the EC just out DPSs him and has better damage, more attacks. He has a sweep attack. He can throw 10 damage to attacks at the enemy, which is really gross. So I think the EC is better. Let's see what else people are saying in the chat. High Marshal Helbrecht and captains being like Chaos Lords. High Marshal Helbrecht is one of the most badass dudes in 40k. He's so gross. The amount of damage he can throw out is just absolutely amazing. I love it. Please don't nerf Helbrecht. GDCR is a much harder threat to deal with in charging or shooting. Yeah, I mean, he's got the fights first, which is really good. But you're getting that from charging anyway, and your sword bros should always be charging. You should be positioning their impulsor or jumping them out early and positioning them to be able to get that charge. So ideally, they're not getting charged. Does the GDCR have precision? I don't know. I can't remember. Let's look. Abilities. He does not have precision. Actually, hold on. Melee weapon. Yes. Sorry, he does. His melee weapon has precision. But he only has 5 attacks. It's strength 7, which is good. It's AP 2, damage 2, devastating wounds. So it's a good weapon. I just think the EC is better because he's more versatile. He can throw that precision strength 8, damage 3 attack. With the sword bros, it becomes damage 4. He can one-shot characters. He literally lopped the head off a Technomancer with one attack. Oh, you're dead. And then he also has a sweep attack. So damage 4 attacks not great for you. Here, have 10 damage 2 attacks. So yes, they charge him, but what after they kill their target? I mean, it's a good point. Honestly, like hopefully they killed something good, so they've sort of made their points back. And I mean, sword bros are tankier than you think if you add AOC and cover and those kind of things in there. So yeah, he gains it. Yeah, format he does gain an attack. He's not bad by any means. Don't get me wrong, guys. He's not bad by any means. I just feel like uh, the EC is better for most circumstances. So, and they are still talking about now. They're talking about the old world with Tomb Kings, which I could care less about. Show me Bretonians. To be honest, I don't know about you guys. If you guys are interested in the old world or not. So far, I'm a little disappointed. And I'll tell you briefly why. I know this is a 40k channel. We're Black Templars, but Bretonians are knights, right? Right? Yeah, that justifies it. But I'm a little disappointed. One, because we didn't get new Knights of the Realm on horseback. How do you not give us the backbone of the army? Give us a new model. I don't understand that. And then number two, I was really hoping that we would get like more of a fresh rule set for the old world. Instead, it kind of feels like, the meme where it's like, hey, can I copy your homework? It's like the old world saying to fantasy, hey, can I copy your homework? Oh, sure. But just change some stuff up so it doesn't look like you copied me. Oh, okay. Like it really feels like Warhammer 8th with a few tweaks. The biggest change is the magic. That's the biggest change so far. Um, Everything else feels very, very, very similar, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. There was just a lot of crunch A lot of rules to remember. They brought back the weapon skill comparison chart. I hated that thing. So that's my take on the old world so far. All right. Well, I think we're nearing the end of this stream, guys. Um, they haven't been showing anything of interest to us as a Black Templar players, which is why I've not been showing the stream. Hopefully we'll get something else here. I was trying to wait until the end to see the last 40K preview thing they mentioned early on. They teased us, and now we got to sit through all this. But you know what? That's okay. It's given me a chance to talk to you guys, and I appreciate uh, the time that we can spend together. Let's listen in, shall we?
So the previews will be up shortly on the Warhammer community site if they aren't already.
Some
So
of them
go
already
and
are.
Check out the videos. You can see, maybe zoom in on that thing that you were asking about.
Yeah, the cat's going to be there, I'm pretty sure.
It will be. Eddie, it's been a pleasure. And chat, it's been awesome. We'll see y'all next time, everybody.
Goodbye.
All right, well, there you go. I guess they lied to us. They promised me more 40K, and I didn't see any more 40K in there. Well, that was the stream there, guys. The Warhammer stream. Honestly, that was kind of disappointing. I was hoping for a bit more, to be honest, Dark Angel stuff. I know that sounds crazy, but that's what I was expecting to see a bunch of is Dark Angel stuff. Instead, we got two new character models for 40K and one Terminator squad, which, while exciting, I don't know. I was hoping for Assault Terminators, but they're probably going to reveal those closer to the Dark Angel Codex. Oh, Link says the more 40K was Kill Team. Yeah, but I mean, is that really 40? I guess technically it's 40K, but it's a different game system. Like, either way. In any case, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. I appreciate it. I know it's late for some of you, especially in the other parts of the globe. Even here on the East Coast, it's pretty late. We're approaching 11 p.m. So, once again, thank you guys, everyone, for your support, especially our patrons and all of our viewers for watching and tuning in. Really appreciate it. Don't forget to check out baronofdice.com for all of your dice needs. Lots of really awesome dice on there and deals going on right now. And then also, please follow along my hobby challenge 100 days of hobby, painting something every single day for 100 days straight. Really ambitious. I really needed to get motivated, and so far it's working. We're on day 26. Look out for a new video from that probably in the next 20 minutes because I'm going to record something on what I did tonight, and then I'm crashing for bed because I got to work in the morning. So, anyway, thanks everyone for joining us. One last thing I'll see in the chat here. Austin says our stuff is new, but will we get anything new like an upgrade box? We technically have an upgrade box already, um, but GW did kind of indicate that every codex is getting something. So I don't know. Maybe we get Terminator. Really, what I would love is Terminator upgrade kit. That's what I would really love, to be perfectly honest with you. Um, but I guess it remains to be seen. We're not getting a codex until, not at least until the late next year. We don't know that for sure, by the way. That's not a guarantee. It's just we're not on the roadmap yet. So, which is good and bad. I really like our rules as we are. So, we will chat some more on Sunday. Join us for Caffeine and Crusade on Sunday morning. I look forward to speaking with everyone again. And until then, have a great evening. You guys